Well, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Angela M. Odom, and I am a life and leadership coach. So excited to be here with you today. We are talking about reading emotions today, reading emotions. So I'm the um, founder of the Better You Project brand, a life and leadership coach. I help women leaders learn how to lead themselves, others, and processes. And today, as we focus on really um, leading ourselves, leading ourselves, that's what we're doing today. So come on in, come on in, come on in. And we are talking about reading emotions today. There's a lot of, let me turn this on. There's a lot of people who react, overreact, to other people. And sometimes we underreact, sometimes we underassess a specific situation. And what we are attempting to do is to improve our own well being, to process our own goals, right? To be able to get things done. That's what leaders do, influence others. It's a process. Good morning, Mo. And you're in Kentucky. All right, Mo. There you go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I feel like singing to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know, caught you off guard, but I just wanted to do it. So today we are talking about reading emotions. And before we even get there, I wanted to make sure, we are understanding really what we are doing holistically. We, as in the Better You community, what we're doing. We're all aiming, focusing on being a better leader. And so I have an 8-step framework for that. I'm going to show you that first. So the first is to assess your mindset and your emotional intelligence. And what you want to be able to do is become skilled at interpreting, understanding, and acting upon emotions. You want to do it intentionally, right? So you're really improving your ability to deal with social or emotional conflicts. You really need to know how to express your feelings and then deal with those emotional situations. We are social beings, and so there will be situations, right? And so the second step is to identify your leadership gaps. And what this allows you to do is to better understand your particular strengths, your challenges, your current leadership deficits, and anticipated future leadership gaps. And this is all about, you and how you are developing in your long-term goals. And we have 3 pillars: leading yourself, others, and managing processes. So these first 3 steps is about leading yourself. And step number 3 is increase your productivity as a leader. And that's the whole point, right? Leaders get things done. That's what you want to be able to do. You want to set the standard in achieving results. And then 4, we move to the first of the steps, focus on leading others. And so we're optimizing your leadership communication. So we communicate, verbally, written, nonverbal. So we want to make sure that you increase your confidence and your competence when you are delivering concepts and ideas, as opposed to people saying, "What you say? Is that what you meant?" Oh, I thought we were doing this. And we want to make sure we are communicating effectively as leaders, right? And you want to enforce boundaries. This establishes like a new normal, how we're going to teach people how to treat us. And that starts with boundaries. Step 6 is effective negotiation, confrontation, and conflict resolution. And if we're breathing and living, God, we will be in some form of negotiation, or might even have some intense moments confronting people, or people confronting us, challenging us, in our face, or not so much. It could not be, doesn't necessarily need to be so aggressive, but still you could be confronted on some things, or you may have to confront some others. And then conflict resolution. This is what we want to do. We want to be able to resolve issues. Sometimes people are just talking past one another. So we want to be able to improve your ability to increase engagement and in connection within your workplace and other places, right? And then step 7 is understand networking and relationship building. And this is the last of the steps under leading others. And the purpose of this is to increase your career success and job satisfaction. Really, is to increase your overall well-being. That's what it leads to. And then step 8 of this 8-step framework to become a better leader and more effective leader, right, is to achieve results through project management. Sometimes we're so busy, we have so many things going on, but we want to be able to improve your organizational skills when moving a project or task from point A to point B. And we have to be able to manage processes. And so that's one of, so before we even get started on anything else, I wanted to make sure you were clearly aware of the 8-step framework that I've created, in this whole understanding this process of becoming better, more effective person, wherever environment you might be in. So anyway, this was the 8 steps. And so what I've been just so bent on, that first step of mindset and emotional intelligence, I believe it's the foundation, right? The way we react to our own emotions, or, we're in tune with them, or other people's emotions, how they're acting out. We're like, whoa, you're not going to come at me like that. Or we could handle it a different way, right? And so again, my name's Angela Odom, and I am really excited for you to be here. Go ahead and just as Mo has already done, just tell us where you are tuning in from. Just put it in the comments, right? Where you're tuning in from, and want to make sure I give you a shout out for that. And that would be if you're listening live, watching live, or on the replay. And so, the very first thing, the concept of a growth mindset. This was developed by Dr. Carol Dweck, and that's D-W-E-C-K, of Stanford University. She proposes that skills and abilities can be developed, right? They can be developed with some effort. She says in her research that that our skills and abilities, they're not set, they're not limited. They're not, it's not like you only get this much intelligence. No, she says it's not that way. And that the way we think directly impacts our outcomes and our eventual success. So that's the whole thing around mindset. It's just the way we think of a thing, right? Hey, Candace from Hershey, Pennsylvania. I went to Hershey Park years ago where they have the chocolate. And I took my son there a second time. And I think we got some pictures and all that kind of stuff. So Hershey, how you doing, Candace? It's good to see you. Good to see your name right there. Good stuff. And so emotional intelligence. So we just talked about, mindset and that whole growth mindset concept from Dr. Carol Dweck. I would really encourage you to research more on that concept, right? And then emotional intelligence. So that's what this is. We're going to lead into being able to read people, right? We want to be able to do that. But emotional intelligence, it's like a set of abilities to do with our emotions, right? And really, it's about the capacity to perceive and understand emotions within ourselves. Like you hear people say, you don't want to see me when I'm mad. Like, really? What are you, 3? Right? You don't want to see me. It's like understanding your emotion, like yourself, and then you understand other people's emotions. And they talk about empathy and all those types of things. But first, you want to be able to, as a leader, as a grown-up, understand and appropriately react to other people. And sometimes you can just not be so invested. You just ignore some of that foolishness. But then if you want to actually go back to the process of leading, right? The process of leading people, the process of influencing people, then you have got to understand their emotional state, right? and that would be helpful. And so you want to be able to know how to express your own emotions effectively, and then you want to be able to manage emotions within yourself and others. And so what does that mean? That means that, we just talked about, conflict resolution, negotiation, those types of things, just communication. How do you show up? Somebody just bumped you in the hallway, so now you all big and mad with everybody else. You cannot move past it. You cannot focus on a specific task. You cannot have a decent conversation because somebody bumped you in the hallway like 30 minutes ago. So just be aware of where you are. Or, like I just got two puppies. I got some two Chihuahua puppies, right? Sam and Sally. And so like, I'm all happy about my puppies, I can't even focus on like the real work. So it's not necessarily anything that's nefarious or bad. It could be something that's happening good in your life also. But you have to be able to manage your emotions and get stuff done, right? So that's what we're talking about today. So no one has a growth or fixed mindset about everything all the time. Like it's not. It's like we are evolving. We're human, right? So want to be able to share with you a exercise of reading people. Like I got my little exercise out right here. I've been taking all kind of classes and making myself better. And that's what I encourage you to do. So an emotional intelligence exercise. Let's make sure we are clear on emotional intelligence first before we get going, right? And so if you're already familiar with emotional intelligence, just let me know where you are with that. You're understanding already about the different domains, right? You are clearly aware of the four domains and of emotional intelligence. And so we're talking about four dimensions, not domains, right? Noticing and understanding emotions in oneself. And you're also noticing and understanding emotions in others. And you're able to regulate your own emotions. And then you want to use emotions to facilitate performance. So those are the four dimensions, right? So you know what's going on with you, you know what's going on with other people, and then you're able to regulate. And then you can use all of that to get stuff done and not be stuck. That's the point, not get stuck. And so there's a lot of work to do as we are building these these skills. And that's what these are. These are skills. So we want to get into the reading of other people. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do. I got my little papers here, right, to make sure I do this really the right way. So if you had like four people, or you do this 4 different times, right, you want to be able to notice the way people speak. You want to be able to see their facial expressions and their body expressions, like what are they doing with their hands? What are they doing? So you want to be able to decode, really. You be like a human detector. And so if you had 4 different people, then each one would have a specific role. And you would have the one person. So if you had 4 people, you have the one person that is talking, like I'm talking right now, right? And then you have someone who only focuses on my facial expressions, like like that, or you're focusing on the facial expression. You have somebody else who is focusing on the body and what type of movement is going on. If somebody walks up to you and they have their fists or clenched like this, however, their facial expressions are benign. You don't really see a lot of that, and it looks intense. And so you might do your hair like, what's going on here? I better get pumped in the mouth, right? And so you want to be able to look at people's body, observing their bodily movements, and They might not be saying anything, but just looking at their body, if it's tense and all that kind of stuff. Then the speech decoder, you're looking at someone's rate of speed, the rate of speech, how fast they're talking. Like I'm talking real fast right now. I want to go to something, or how the tone. What's the pitch like? You're paying attention to their pitch. You're paying attention to their speech. You're paying attention to if you're looking at their face itself, the coder. You look at their eyes, right? Looking at their eyes. You're looking at their eyelids, their eyebrows, right? The nostrils. Sometimes people, when they're like disgusted, they are disgusted. Their nose is flaring out. Nostrils are. Mouth. Sometimes people are smiling, but sometimes people smile with their eyes and their mouth. Some of them are wearing masks now. Look at their lips, and then you can determine or infer that what type of emotion they might be feeling, right, or experiencing, or what they might be thinking based on that. And when you look at the body, you're looking at their head, their shoulders, the chest, because the chest might be out or not. Or, sometimes people are feeling shame, their head might be down. You're looking at their arms and their hands. Like I said, what are their hands doing? Like sometimes when people are like excited, their hands are moving, all this kind of stuff. And then when they're experiencing grief, then not so much movement might be occurring. And looking at their hands, their legs, and you can determine or infer the emotion from that, right? And then when people are speaking, you're the coder for speech. Then you're listening to their words, right? You're listening to their words, the pitch, the volume, then the rate of speech. You want to pay attention to those things. And so that's what we want to do today, reading people, right? And so what I'm asking you to do is on 4 different occasions over the next 7 days, 4 different occasions over the next 7 days, right? I want you to pay attention to yourself and how you show up, right? How you show up, and just pay attention to your own facial expression, your body language, and your speech. And then you do the same thing. You look at someone else. Just pick somebody out in your workspace, right? You can pick somebody out in your family, and don't tell them that, because it's going to make them make things weird. Don't tell them, right? It'll make things weird, and then you are just paying attention to the other person, just their facial expressions without judgment. You're just paying attention, right? And then you want to do the same thing for the body and for the speech, and that way you practice reading people and do some more research, right? So I'm sharing this with you. You do some more research, independent research from what I'm sharing with you, but I want you to just be more aware of what other people are doing. And why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? Because that's going to make you more aware of other people's ability to perform when they might be thinking about other things. They might be focused on, some situation that caused them either to be angry or to feel sad, or they might not trust you. It might be the culture that you have fostered within the workspace. And then you can make some adjustments as the leader, right, of that small group, large group, or as you are a part of the group. You can make some adjustments in the way you engage with people, especially nonverbal. If you are someone who is engaged in a conversation, we're only doing all these online sessions now. You're engaged with someone and you hear them say, "What? Are you listening to me? Are you paying attention?" And you're like, "Well, I'm sitting right here. What's going on?" Some of the things you might want to do is pay attention to what they see. the way you are speaking, if it looks like you're paying attention. Sometimes it might just be light in your room, right? It might be where you are and where your eyes are, and if you're leaning forward, if you're paying attention to that. So that's what we wanted to just share with you today. First of all, the 8 steps of the 8-step framework for the program to become a better leader, and then the 4 dimensions of emotional intelligence, and then how emotional intelligence and mindset actually works together for us to have a better understanding of how emotions impact the way we lead and the way we are willing to follow other people's lead, right? And so we looked at just a way to read people. And of course, we're reading people's facial expressions. We're reading the speech, and of course, the body movements. That's how you read people. That's how you read people. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I want to make sure that you are invited, that you know you're invited to a book review and discussion, right? So my name is Angela Odom, and I have Angela O's reading list. And we will be discussing Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins on Wednesday, April 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. All my times are Eastern time. I live in Georgia, right? And we're doing that on Zoom. And so go ahead and get your book or do like the other people do. Go to YouTube and just, glean from what it might be about. But it's really good about, this book is focusing on mindset. And it is practical, and the author is truly amazing. And it's a well-written book. And at the end of each one of the chapter, he has exercises for you to do. I've done mine. And I'm going to just tell you this. I did one of the exercises for the Can't Hurt Me book it's been about 6 months ago. It was like a mirror exercise, and you put stickums on the mirror of the things that you want to achieve. And I put on there, pay off my car. I paid off my car, right? I paid off my car. I had like 4 things on that mirror, and I've done that. I'm just saying, bam. So Can't Hurt Me. I am a believer, right? I am a believer. Paid off my car. I actually bought a truck too, but I paid off my car. So I want to just share that with you. April 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we will do a book review and a book discussion of Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And that is one of the books on my reading list. So you're like, what? You got a reading list? Hold up. So reading builds confidence, right? So you can go to Instagram, Angela O's reading list, right? And you'll see the books on the reading list. And so let's focus. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused for a moment. So I want you to learn how to read people. So over the next 7 days, right? 7 days, I want you to do 4 different things. 4 different things over the next 7 days. And that is, one is you will be the speaker. Pay attention to how people are responding to you, because what are they doing? They're reading your facial expression. They're listening to your speech, and they're watching your body movements. That's one. And then you're going to switch, and you're going to be aware of another person's speech. Just their speech, right? And then their body movements, right? And then you're going to make sure you're watching facial expressions. So that's over the next 7 days. With that said, I want to make sure you know my name is Angela M. Odom, founder of the Better You Project, host of the Better You Leadership Podcast. It's on iTunes and Spotify. And also, I'm a very proud Army veteran. I'm always rooting for you. You all take care and have an amazing day.